Hey, what's up? Oh my god. This is Copy Who, and I'm your host, Paul the producer. That's me. Greetings, everyone. I'm back after a couple days. I'm doing this a little later in the afternoon than I usually do when I start in the afternoon, because usually I start right after I eat lunch. But not today, because I was on the phone with my dad sorting out some real-world business stuff. The real-world business that allows for all of this decadent, opulent production value to be possible. And it will improve. Yes, indeed. I'm reaching the point where I'm like, I might be ready to order the mechanical riser to raise up my TV over here. And I'm looking forward to that. That's special. But it's like before I hit the record button, I'm like, oh my God, I have to be on now. I actually have to concentrate. I actually have to talk. And it wears me out. You know what I mean? Because I'm human. Okay? How's this look? This is not a beanie. This is like a snow hat. It's got a little bit of a blue in it, and it kind of matches this blue in my shirt. So I decided to go blue hat with a little bit of stripe of black in it and lighter grays type stuff matching my arms. I think it goes with me just nicely. Perfectly fine, okay? All right. Welcome, bienvenue. I guess that's French for welcome. This water's fresh, it's cold, and I'm pouring it out. And just before I stopped right here, crap, I spilled it on the table. That's the first time doing this. I'm going to wipe it up with my arm, okay? And I'm going to show you how my wrist is wet now from wiping up the water. It's not something gross and heinous, although that would be a pretty good meme. Yeah, okay. You get what that means. You adults out there get what that means. Elementary kids probably do too, because they check out books from the library these days. It's not me being rude or anything or inappropriate or anything of the sort. That's me. What's up, birdies? Hello. You will have a new companion there soon by the name of Ronnie James Dio. And I'll just leave it at that. Thank you. Once again, I'm done with you guys for the moment. All right, I'm coming back to me because it's about me that I want to talk about. Okay, I've been sleeping somewhat fairly well. Last night I got about 6 hours, 45 minutes. It's a little shy than what I normally like, but it's still not too bad. I was able to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night and then come back to my bed and fall back asleep, which is a good thing. It's always a good thing. To be able to fall back to sleep after going pee is a good thing. I've still been taking electrolytes, and I don't know if maybe they're helping or if it was a placebo, if that's wearing off, but I sure wish every night like clockwork I could get to 7.5 hours. That would be the best of all possible worlds. Everybody who knows me knows what I'm talking about. The shirt is still wet. See that? It's not as bad as, oh, well, yeah, I guess that's pretty bad. It's still wet on the table here because this part is wet. Okay. And I had that really crappy lozenge again. Same cherry flavor. I'm going to ask them, why does raspberry cost $12 and cherry cost $3? Raspberry is much better. I can't imagine it would cost 4 times as much, the difference between raspberry and cherry, though. That makes absolutely no sense to me, dudes. All right, then. What am I doing in my personal life in the morning? This morning I read some philosophy from a philosophy book about St. Augustine still, and the topic was time, philosophically time, and how God lives within this idea of time or doesn't, and it kind of blew my mind when I was thinking about it. It was very interesting, and as I read about it, I thought, no wonder I freaking wanted to study philosophy. Still reading this other book that is called Evidence That Deserves a Verdict, which is about having intellectual faith over blind faith and being able to substantiate intellectually the reasons why people have faith in God. And even though I'm agreeing with some of their proofs for how to determine when you're talking about the truth of things, I don't feel like they're bridging the gap between knowing for sure. Like, it's still this leap of faith. There's still this blind faith involved. They haven't substantiated it yet to me, but it's been a very interesting mental exercise. I've never really actually spent so much time between studying books that are about Bible study and referring to the Bible when I'm doing something. That's just an interest of mine. I know you might be bored with me saying this, and I might be a naughty person on here, but it's of interest to me. And if it's not of interest to you, then you need to scram. You need to be gone. Because this is long form thought here. This isn't 15 seconds. This isn't 30 seconds. It's not 10 seconds, okay? Here's like Deaf Noodles talking about he's like, today Andrew Tate was in a prison cell, got beat up, and he's all, I know how. And I'm like, God, dude, just take a few more seconds, articulate the thought clearly, because he's getting like 3,000 views per short, Dennis from Deaf Noodles, and what's happening is you can't understand what the hell he's saying on it. So I don't know how that could, and I noticed he did this format in the past where it was like he like tried to have a good production back in the day. And all of a sudden now he just sits there and is like, yo, I'm sitting here. It's like, dude, come on, people. Maybe that's why people aren't listening to you the same way they were, because you've just thrown production out the window. And so like, you got to do it all, man. That's what I'm saying. I like my eye candy when I watch people. Anomaly can improve his production too. And he has a lot of followers, but maybe, because I think it all has to do with when you reach a certain level, your production values say something about your credibility, where you're willing to invest in it to give it all more credibility with what you're doing. But anyway, I will stop talking about that. And I will show you this. Okay. So this is what I want to get on. I'm going to actually probably I'm going to order the motorized rise for this very soon, maybe within the next day or two. And so I will leave this one here, and when that comes, I'll assemble it. And then when that one's assembled, I'm going to go buy a 60-inch TV. This is a 55, and I'm going to throw that 60-inch TV on there. I keep thinking maybe I should go 65, but I'm concerned it'll take too much space up here and drive me bananas. Or see, this might actually fill into there. Maybe that would be a cool thing, because it would be bigger for you guys. You know what I mean? I have to really give this some thought, because the cost differential between certain sizes of TVs is negligible. And I just like the idea of being able to come over to this and have it go up with music. And then it's like, it's a special occasion once you start doing it on here. And it's like tooting my own horn production wise. I really want shit to be cool here. Okay. I want people to be like, what the fuck? And I didn't invent that idea. You know who I think first invented the idea of a rising television? Yeah. Who do you think it was? Who do you guys think it was? No, you're mistaken. It was not Mike. It was not Mike. It was either Conan O'Brien or it was Jay Leno. Yes, they agree with me, see? Because I don't lie to my birds. I love you, birds. I love you. I love you so. Okay? They're just all quiet. They're awestruck. See how he gazes up upon me? Thank you. I appreciate that, Copy. Copy has the most beautiful eyes. Look at those eyes right there. See those eyes? These eyes. Isn't there a song with a song lyric like that? Anyway, okay. Back over here. We're going to start out over here somewhere on this list of things I have. And so what I have first is tweets, I think. Rollo wrote something in tweets. Oh, you know what this is about? So apparently Pearl Davis from what is it? Just Say Pearls. It's not Just Say Pearls. I should know that by now since I cover her videos once in a while. He's busting her balls because Rollo's busting Pearl's balls because she pivoted to do something a little more, what do you call it? Political. Come over here with this. And to be honest with you, I don't think it's that big. So he thinks wow, she has a big following. And there's nothing wrong with Pearl deciding to talk with Nick Fuentes. And so hear me now, believe me later. Rational Male was right again. Pearl just made an interview with Nick Fuentes, already switching to politics. And so what? Do you know what? What I will say to Rollo is politics, anything that has to do with enlightenment, becoming more aware, discovering more truth, it's all the domain of the red pill. And these days, it doesn't hurt. So Pearl is talking a lot of good sense. Okay, I would prefer hearing Rollo speak if it's like if I really want to depend on somebody. I would prefer hearing. So there's a lot of good stuff when Pearl is doing a show, and I'm not gonna just disparage it for whatever any reason. Like I disparaged her when she was chowing down on food and drinking like a cow one day. Yes, she was. But actually, as a matter of fact, I listened to some of the discussion she was having with Nick Fuentes, which is not what I'm going to be playing here today. But it was a lot of valid stuff. And so if there are good points made, and if it's insightful, it's not a big deal that Pearl decides to pivot politically. You know, Rian Stone was picking on... he said, so he made a smarmy comment also about it's not anything red pill. The red pill, the exclusive domain of the red pill is far beyond the manosphere or intersexual dynamics between men and women. It spans the gamut philosophically and politically about the world, awareness in the world about a great many things. Okay? And so you can't just claim like, this is the manosphere, it's red pill domain. The concept of the red pill is more broad than the manosphere. That's just like one little slice of the pie. New World Order, red pill. Discerning what the hell the government is telling you, whether they're lying or telling the truth, red pill. Hidden agendas, malevolent agendas around the world, red pill. The nature of reality, philosophically and otherwise, red pill. It's very strange that these renowned guys with all the clout in the world, I'm having to philosophically school them a little bit, okay? It's more than you say it is, and you don't own it. But I do admire those guys. I enjoy their banter, I enjoy their humor, and I enjoy the insight and knowledge they've brought to my life. Kudos to you, gentlemen. That's like a compliment with a slap in the face, honestly. Because I am what I am. And that's all that I am. Let's see what's next here. Okay, I want to see Jedidiah. Okay, this is... I'll come here real quick with this. Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. Chat AP. The sound's going to be fucked up on this, so I'm actually going to go like this. I'm going to come back here and go like this. And I'm going to... Is this going to be the high voice one, or is it going to be the low voice one?
When it's about our students, they challenge it. The corporations challenge it. The student loan lenders challenge it. That is not right. That is not fair.
Yeah, what the fuck? What I mean to say is, what the fuck ever, lady. You know why? Because frankly, if you take out a loan, hopefully you're making a wise choice. You decided to take advantage of the idea of leveraging your education, and then you go and probably studied some stupid job for which there was no job. No, you started studying some stupid field, some stupid subject matter for which there was no job to move into after you get your degree. And then you're like, well, I have debt, pay for it. What's that all about? You know, when I studied in college, I remember my dad was just like, just get a degree. It's important that you're here to open your mind up. It wasn't like, well, how much can this job field earn? I guess I can earn this much by cleaning people's teeth. I guess I can earn this much by doing electricity. These are tradesman jobs. They're not good examples of. So I wanted to study economics in college for a brief while, but it bored the shit out of me. And so it was like I just fit like a glove in philosophy, and you're very adaptable when you study philosophy to like learning all sorts of things. So you go into philosophy and there are many things you can do. And it's like the only liberal arts degree, almost the only one, that I think is worth a hill of beans. Philosophy, motherfucker. And so you know how many times people are like, huh, where are you going to get a job in philosophy? But you know... So, just to go on that topic a little bit right now, there are a lot of law schools that specifically appreciate when someone studies philosophy because you have a special ability to think. And as Mel Brooks put it in History of the World, coalesce a common vapor about everything. It teaches you how to think. It teaches you how to bullshit. It teaches you how to communicate, to write. You study logic. In a lot of cases, like in my case, I studied some math, astrology, some physics, all of that. Okay? Great basis in order to exercise the mind. And so you can go into being a lawyer, which is, I'd rather fucking cut my own head off than be a fucking lawyer. Although I've thought it would be cool to study certain law classes. Some good lawyers are out there, and that's mainly why I wouldn't want to be a lawyer. But there were other people I knew in the philosophy department that after they got their philosophy degree, they went into studying computers because it's very logical and technical. They are people who are adaptable. They've learned how to learn, and they're driven. And so what I just told you, forget philosophy. Whatever you study in college, you should always have the philosophy of learning how to learn, being empowered to learn on your own, and not just say it like in a job interview, I'm a fast learner, but really actually learn how to learn. I've done all kinds of things around my house, and things in my car even that I've learned online. I go and I study it and I learn how to do it. When I was younger, yeah, I studied philosophy, but I learned how to put computers together, disassemble all the parts, put them together, reinstall operating systems, troubleshoot parts that are broken. And no one actually taught me how to do that. I just read about it and figured out how to do it on my own. And I wanted to learn how to build computers. And so it all funneled into this. And building computers led to recording music on computers. Recording music on computers led to me recording content early on to make a podcast and so forth. Fast forward many years later and I'm doing this. And the difference is you just add some cameras and some visual elements. And I mix it as I go. Adaptable, man. That's life. If you have an attitude, if you ever say, I hate learning. It's like, get the fuck out of here. No, seriously, I'm going to wait for you to go. Because you're like, I don't like learning. What the fuck is life without learning? Honestly, that's one of the passions that makes me not want to fucking hang myself, is appreciating learning. Because I can learn little things during the day. That's why I was reading about the Bible earlier. Because I'm struggling to want to understand all kinds of things about life. And I studied all this philosophy when I was younger. And I talked all this philosophy about the existence of God, but I never really got down to studying the religion of Christianity inside and out. And that's what I wanted to do. But learning, I'm passionate about learning. I'm passionate when I learn a new piece on the piano, on the guitar, when I read something new and it makes me think something new. You should be too. That's what is part of what makes me feel like getting up every day is worthwhile. Sometimes I'm in bed dwelling, but the second I get up and my mind starts turning around and I start absorbing the world around me, suddenly it all doesn't seem as bad, like when I'm learning something new. And so even like when I'm doing this, I feel like I suddenly will make comments that didn't even occur to me before. Something about the adrenaline doing this keeps me stimulated and thinking about new things. I love that. I'm more upbeat. So Tony Robbins says physiology equals psychology. And so I've taken that to heart. And what that means is so when I act upbeat here and I'm speaking more vivaciously, with life, with passion, it makes me feel better. It definitely translates into something in my mind that is more at peace with the world. I feel like I'm doing something special. A few people are watching it and they're getting an idea for me. This is the stage I'm at in my life. I'm trying to put out my own thoughts for the world. It might inspire others to do what I'm doing. If you like what I'm doing here, put a TV next to yourself, copy all of this. I'm serious now. Because I was influenced by people. I'm just saying, if you see something in me, what I'm doing, and it inspires you, go. If you want to give me credit, that's great. I would appreciate that. If you don't give me credit, be inspired, go and do it. Get up and improve your life. If you like something I'm doing, I'm an open book. So I would say interact with me. If you're like, what kind of mixer do you use? What kind of microphones do you use? What kind of cameras do you use? What kind of computer? What kind of software? I've known so many. I'm getting all flustered. I'm so passionate right now. I've known so many producers who are so persnickety about sharing what they do and how they do it. That's a Samsung TV. I bought that on-air sign on Amazon. You can go find that. That's a 70-inch Samsung. This is a 50-inch Samsung. I created this background with AI art. And this particular background was created with, it wasn't Mid-Journey AI. It was, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm forgetting it right now. Playground AI. Is that what it is? Playground AI, I think is what it was. So the whole copy who, right where this surface is on it. Whoops. Hey, what do you say? What, you're talking to me. Thank you for reminding me. This same background you see here, all AI, and the copy who, we know who we copied that from. I'm not going to tell you who I copied for that from. It's extremely fucking obvious who that's copied from. Same with the birds, and same with the fact that the little bird is named Jules. She knows what it means. Copy knows what it means. Copy is not Mike, but Mike is copy. And copy is with Jules, but Jules is a different Jules. Here, Jules is an owl, but in real life, Mike is the husband of Jules. I amuse myself in the same stupid ways. And if you don't like it, I don't give a F. Yeah, baby. Oh, man. I got to move on. I am lit up a little bit right now, though, okay? I've had such a roller coaster of a week emotionally. I'm up and I'm down. I'm up and I'm down. And I can't wait. I will declare it here with joy when I fucking finally scrape the parasites off. I will. I will. And they know who they are. They fucking know who they are. And none of them shall be considered scraped off until I come here and tell you the fucking parasites are gone. Yes. Never mind specifics, okay? What do I have next for you right now, okay? And so I want to just conclude what I was saying before after I diverged big time. Don't fucking get a giant loan and expect other people to pay for it. If you're going to take a loan, know what the fuck you're doing. Execute your life with super brilliant precision. Do not expect others to pay for your fucking loan, especially when someone else fucking did the right thing, saved their money and went to school, or paid off their tuition by working really hard in school. Okay? You probably had this enormous fucking interest rate and you'll just be like, oh, work it off. No, you make yourself a slave for life and you work a shitty job and you have the slave debt forever. You could have just not gone to school and you probably would have been just about as smart and you wouldn't have had the debt. And you could be saving for things and building your life up that way instead of getting a worthless fucking degree. To me, the fucking school system has gone to fuck. Ass fuck. Sucks fucking ass. Feel pretty strongly about that. But don't expect others to pay off your debt, okay? I'm sympathetic you made a mistake, but you got to fucking own it and pay it off. And you know what it means? You actually have to live your life with some discipline, and you have to forego some pleasures. I had a debt, when was it now? It was about 11 years ago. I had like a $16,000 credit card debt. It was costing me $300 a month in interest. I spent several years, like 3 or 4 years, not going out, not doing fucking anything at all, ever. Not going out, not getting drinks, not getting anything. And I did voiceovers online. And I took every extra penny I earned that didn't go to expenses and I applied it toward that debt until finally I fucking paid it off. Seriously. So that's what you should be doing. Instead of, I'm a victim, please pay off my debt. Work your fucking ass off. Quit fucking whining. That lady, it's a topic that is interesting to me. Some people do things in the right way and some people do things in the wrong way. So when you have a debt, you make personal sacrifices to get out ahead of it. Like all kinds of noble, great people who pay off their houses ahead of time. They take their extra money and pay it off. You get rid of that debt and it builds security for you and your family. Oh, man. Who am I to talk, though? Who am I to talk? I'm not. I'm nobody to talk. I'm just saying, I don't think other human beings should have to pay for your debt, for your mistakes. You need to fucking own it. And so you got made a slave, and no one fucking warned you not to do that. I'm sorry. It's not my fault, dudes. I'm sympathetic, but I just gave you the formula. Put your nose to the grind, okay? Pull up your bootstraps. Like, sacrifice. Put off your satisfaction for going out and doing things and wasting money and buying shit and material shit and pay off the debt. It was $300 a month I was paying in interest, just the interest alone. And it's a car payment. And so I just started busting my ass constantly. Every fucking extra bit of money I would put toward that fucking debt. Gift at Christmas, debt. Voiceovers, debt. And what my dad was paying me to help him at the time, anything I had left over for the month, debt. All of it. Pay it off. Don't expect others to pay it off for you. That's fucking bullshit if the government does that. What else do we have here? Girl lives... Oh, this is an interesting freaking thingamajigabajibigabugga.
We're on a tour.
Okay, so how I'm going to come over here like so. And I'm going to go zoom. Okay, so there's this pretty young lady, very young, made me feel uneasy as can be that she lives out of her van in New York City. She made a really nice finish in a van, and she lives out of this van, and we're just going to watch some clips from this, and one in particular I thought was interesting, and talk about this concept a little bit.
Today, we're right outside the van.
It kind of feels like my own man cave. The build was like
Now, she's very pretty, okay? The build was 17.7. Go on.
And the car was 31,000.
So like we're talking nearly 50 grand to live out of her van. No fucking toilet. No fucking shower. That's what would bug me, not having a toilet and a shower. And so he tells the story of this young lady here. Let's see.
Alley in Brooklyn where all the van life people live.
She's cute
Watch
too.
this be the wrong van.
And don't kid yourself. A man living out of a van would never be able to get a hot girlfriend, okay? They'd be like, what? Oh my God, there's nothing for me here. But then this super hot chick has a van, and sure, she probably had a million guys lined up to want to date her. So I'm sitting here imagining as I'm watching this, okay, she mentioned her boyfriend. She has this van. She's screwed in this van. So that's like where my mind goes. It's like sinful thoughts, I know, but come on. Can't help it, dude.
The door's a little cracked, so I think it is. Hello? What's up?
Hi, how are you guys?
How's your day been?
Now look how cute she is.
I woke up this morning and saw a guy like peeing on the van over there, and I'm like, thank God it's not my van.
Walking in, it's all pink.
I'll tell you what though, we don't know much about her yet, but see, nice little bed there. Just a perfect size for her body, I guess. She can stand up in there. It's sort of like she made her own RV, but I was gonna say, on the one hand, I'm like, that's a very strange personality for a woman who's that age, and she's just like, I'm gonna live out of a van, because you're a little more at risk than some guys doing that, I think, in virtue of being a woman, and a beautiful young woman at that. And I'm just saying, a lot of like scary guys, you know, would see that and be like, oh yeah, let's look at her, skinny little. I wanted this guy to ask her. He does not ask her, do you have weapons? Do you have anything like knives, guns, or mace to protect yourself?
So what prompted the theme of your van?
Taylor Swift, actually.
No way.
Yeah, when I started building it, her album was Lover at the time.
So like, look how pretty she is. And I'm like, is she a normal person? She seems like a very normal, well-adjusted person. Then I'm like, oh my God, you're living out of a van. That's extremely strange for a beautiful young woman like that to live out of a van. And I'm not knocking her. There's this admirable aspect to it, because a lot of girls will be like, oh my God, no. So there's something different in this girl's personality. And there's one thing in here I noticed that I did not like. So let's keep going through this, shall we?
Actually obsessed with it, and so I went with the full pink. And then also when I was building, I got a lot of like sexist comments like, oh, like who's gonna build that for you? Like, oh, your brother's gonna make that. And just I kind of was like, I want to break that stereotype of people being
okay,
like,
is that true what you're saying? Did you really build that van yourself? Are you telling me the truth? She's so dang attractive too. It's like, how in the world did you decide that you want to pull this off? And so there's something admirable about it, and then there's something a little bit crazy.
You're a girl and you're building it, like, and I wanted to make it like, yeah, I am, and I like girly things, and I also can build things. My silverware,
good,
like all my
she's
dishes,
a beauty. All
of the water in the world, because it gets so hot in here. It's a metal box.
I bet. That's another freaking thing.
And this thing is
oh my God. So I'm thinking to myself, New York City, so in the winter you're freezing your ass off, heinously freezing your ass off, and in the summer it's hot as hell. How that? Okay, these things. Cold is like my kryptonite. So living out of a van in the winter, Does she live down by the river ever? I'm just wondering. Did anyone get that joke? Inside joke? Children of the 80s, you probably get that. You youngsters, if you don't get it, bah.
It like screams.
Is this wallpaper that you put on top of it?
Pretty much. It's like a sticky like contact paper from Amazon on like a regular piece of plywood.
It looks like granite though, so I think it's achieving what you wanted it to be.
Good. And
It's
then
a
I have
nice
all my
aesthetic.
like makeup and like face wash and stuff in there, but I covered it with like flowers to make it look like it's less messy. The van is a 2015, but I built it about 2 years ago, so I've been traveling in it for 2 years fast. I love reading, so that was important to me, even though I know it's a little bit of an extra weight. People are like, save weight, don't bring everything. I'm like,
Is that what they say?
yeah, because weight's really important, partially for gas mileage, but also the van can only hold so much. I'm glad you're not like 6'2". That's like I think the limit of height. My favorite thing of the whole van is probably my skylight, because I can literally climb out of it, which is partially like a safety thing also.
You have an escape. Oh, there she is. That's cool. So then you just climb up on your roof.
Yeah, I can just like sit up here and then
It's
I
like
have
a
the skyline.
patio.
Whoa. This is cool. You do have the best view of New York City.
It is gorgeous.
You have the solar panels up here. How much electricity does that actually give you?
So basically, I never run out of battery. Like I'm usually like an 80 to 90%.
Can I try out your bed?
Go for it.
Let's go. So comfortable. I'm impressed.
Thank you. That was like a big deal to me. to
Wow.
have it.
We love Pokemon. So there's garage space.
Yeah, which is where this like bottom door goes. Yeah, like really have to
so
crawl in it to get
Very
things.
interesting how she built this out. 17 grand to do all that. I'm trying to see where all the money went. What are the expensive portions? That's 17 grand in there. Obviously, there's lumber. There's a bed. There's a little bit of a sink there. Some shelving. That countertop. I'm a little blown away. Let me go up to 417 over here. There was an interesting clip I wanted to
Yeah,
see.
not
Are those
easy to
roller
practice
skates?
here. Yeah.
You got all the fun activities.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. You use this a little bit as storage up here.
Yeah.
Okay, here's where I'm
I gotta
bothered.
make it also look like there's a second
Wait.
person in here, so if someone does
Okay, right here. Satanic Temple. So I'm sitting thinking how cool this chick is. What the fuck with Satanic Temple, honey? Seriously. So that's what preoccupied me. Like, when I'm watching this, I'm like, what? Satanic Temple? Like, I want to ask her about that. Is that a joke? If that's not a joke, it's like, what the fuck? Because that's where I was like, oh, as a joke, I wouldn't hang some shit like that up. What the fuck with that? Satanic Temple. Okay, that stood out to me.
my van, they like think because it's an empty seat that like
The
I can have people, which is why I try to not have it be chaotic.
Is the knock like when cops come?
Yeah, they come and knock on your door, and I've had it I think 2 or 3 times, and
I want to go forward.
skylight. I try to do like the best circulation I can. I have like cooling towels, but like I don't have AC. In the winter though, I have a heater. I have like a Webasto. Yeah, I lived in Vermont during last winter, so
How was that?
really, really cold, very cold.
Ever have company over in here?
Yeah, fuck
Most
the
of it's my
cold.
boyfriend. And I started dating him like 1 month before I finished my van build, so none of this plan
Oh, brother. Yeah, you've done it in there a million times.
for 2 people.
In the name of Satan!
And how many more years do you plan on doing the van life thing?
I honestly can't imagine not doing it anymore.
Looks good.
Like,
Whoa.
yeah,
That's
like,
pretty big. We're on 4 wheels. This thing still drives, right?
yeah.
All right, let's go for a ride. You have your license, right?
Is that important?
Imagine.
Back here, this is
Wait,
where
she-
I want to hear him ask her
Yeah,
a
I
certain
mean, I have
question.
a full stove that I can set up right here and just cook.
Where do you use the bathroom?
So I did
There.
not put a bathroom in my van. There is a bathroom like just right around this corner from here. I usually use then, but straight up, like I have a pee jug. Like that's literally what I do in here. Like
You have a what?
a pee jug. Like
Oh, a pee jug.
yeah, I
A
just
pee
like
jug.
pee in a jug.
Can we see it?
Yeah! Dude,
Did you draw this?
seriously, that's what I liked earlier today, because as soon as she said pee jug, I would be like, can I see it? And he said the exact same kind of weird shit that I would say. So you and I, sir, we are some kind of common thought brethren, okay? Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I love that we think the same, my brother. Good for you. Oh, my.
I want to have a pee jug. I want her pee jug. I want to pee in the pee jug with her. Yes. Oh, hey. Whoop.
Hey, had to turn that off. Okay, I'm still learning here. No problem. Come back here and go,
What's up with the Satanic Temple? What is up with the Satanic Temple? Crazy women.
hey, now we're back to normal. Okay. We are done with this right now, okay? But what with the Satanic Temple? Sweetheart, What are you thinking? Your dad. So I'm not your dad, but I'm probably old enough to be your dad. And I'm like, hey, as someone who identifies as your dad, what's up with the Satanic Temple shit? Give me a freaking break. I hope that's a joke. And you should get rid of that joke. Crazy, crazy girls. Okay. All right. So here's what I wanted to do. That's at the timestamp 4:32. Come over here. I want to talk about Ryan here a little bit, okay? Rian Stone. He did this broadcast this morning, and you can totally see his lights in the sunglasses that he's wearing here, and it makes me mental that he's using this SM57. You can read that right there, SM57. The tone of his mic absolutely sucks. But that, I mean, like, get a good mic. Ryan, please get a good mic. It's a pet peeve of mine, okay? What you're doing is nice. You have the accent lights. You have this beautiful AI woman sitting right next to you. She looks better than you do, even though she's AI. You know, want to reach out. Wait, hold on. Let's zoom in on that just a little bit, shall we? Okay, oh no, all the way down here like that. Whoa, yeah, taking up the whole screen. Let's continue really fast.
That stupid thing. Come on.
Next one is the interesting topic I wanted to talk about. I have to turn your volume up because your mic sucks so bad.
Oh, it's so close. I can feel it. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're getting to that one.
No, let me just show the timestamp I'm on here right now is I'm at 4:45. Let's hear how bad it sounds at the beginning here.
Absolutely too quiet. Oh, I see what's going on here.
Yeah, dude. See, get a real mic, please, sir. You do good work. You sell yourself short with that shitty mic, though. That SM57 is not meant to be a vocal mic. It's like you record a guitar amp with that mic, dude. You get like 4 or 5 of them at different distances from a guitar amp, and you get this big, beautiful sound in the room. But just one recording your voice, not what it's meant for. Get a good one.
Trans porn actors are being BTFO'd because women are just shoving prosthetics. It's literally the Ontario teacher who threw on the Type Z boobs. The girl's like, hey, if nobody signed up for my OnlyFans, maybe I'll just add a dick. And then like they're playing.
So basically this young woman on OnlyFans wasn't getting any subscribers, so she decided to put on a prosthetic of a man's unit, and she's doing better than a lot of the actual male to female trans on the platform. Oh, that deserves this. It does amuse me, I must say, because that's an entrepreneur for you right there, right? That girl is such an entrepreneur. And what's funny is other people are offended by it. Like, she can do whatever she wants. You have to adapt. You have to pivot. In this case, if you're a beautiful woman and you're not getting any subscribers, you have to pretend to have male gonads. That's what you do. So I applaud her for her ingenuity. And if she's willing to do that, she should be able to do all kinds of dignified things in her life to get ahead. Let me tell you, if you have brains and you're gorgeous, you're way out ahead of the pack. And I don't know why you got to go on OnlyFans to make a living being essentially a sex worker. You don't have to do that. Maybe it's a laziness thing. Maybe there's this narcissistic thing. Maybe it's partly like I'm getting paid to be self-centered and be the center of attention for all these men who want me. I'm sure there's something about that women like. Women like being the center of attention. I get that. Okay? And so all these men are into her because she looks like a beautiful woman and she's tricking their mind with the prosthetic. And I do find that interesting. And what else about this clip? Okay,
Traps.
So that's really the only part I wanted to. I'm going to scroll through some of this stuff. He goes through all his own. So he's talking about this clip of this chick. I talked about her on the last show. She's the one who's like saying like a million times. And so now he's talking about it a couple days later. You're late to the party, man. But everyone's picking up on that because it stands out how ding-dongy she is. She's hot, and she's like So he was critical of this show. This is whatever, and I thought he made a joke that it's from Ohio. It's not from Ohio, dude. It's from Southern California, and they even have like the palm trees outside their windows when they do recordings during the day. And you don't have no palm trees in no fucking Ohio. Yeah, for real. But seriously, I wanted to just zoom through this really quick. And here he is at the end.
Really nice. I was talking about this like a year
Not
ago.
yet.
Yeah, I think that one's it.
So
God knows. Is it getting?
So here's the thing, dude.
I believe that to you as an experiment. So you guys let me know.
Look what you're doing, buddy. You have your music just pulverizing your voice. You got to know how to mix. See how I brought your level down. Can't hear what the hell you're saying. What? What?
Yeah, my person.
Ryan, what the hell are you saying? What the fuck are you saying? Your music is too fucking loud. Turn your fucking music down, Ryan. Ah!
And I can see the results of all this stuff, so I'm like, all right, fair enough. But you let me know.
I'm schooling you how to do this right. Look, man, sound is just as important. See, I'm not even focused on this woman's beautiful ass. I'm focused on the fact that I can't even hear what you're saying. And so, like, people like this have clout. They have no production and they have clout. And I'm not knocking you too hard because I really do like you. I'm just giving you a pointer. Replace that mic and mix your shit better.
Enjoy the rest
Okay.
of the morning. Go check out
Yeah.
the T-Rex Army.
I
We're gonna
will.
do some Valheim.
I'm going to read your book, too, just so that you know. Your new book, which is called Prexology. Is that right? Is that how you pronounce it? Yes, sir. I promise I will. Eventually, that's on my list. I'm going to put it in my library here before we get locked down. The climate lockdowns bring the 15-minute cities to all our nightmarish lives because people are too chicken shit to realize that it's really actually happening. And I'm going to have it on this shelf, and I'm going to have it here until they finally come and get me for not getting the you-know-what and being forced to go to the FEMA camp. But they're pretending it'll be like a better experience somehow than a World War II concentration camp. Yeah, fucking right. Boy, am I on a roll. I'm just like losing my mind right here. What do we have? Myron Gains, talking more wisdom. I want to hear this. Okay, right here. From the same interview I was talking about the other day, I liked what I was hearing, what he was saying, all this. So I'm going to come right here and go like this.
Say this because, like, when we say that, right, girls get so triggered when we're on the podcast. We're like, yeah, you got to train women. And they're like, oh, my God. And then I'll say, okay, well, let me ask you a question. If you want to build the body of your dreams, where do you go? To the gym. What do you do there? Oh, I train. Okay. If you're competing for a sport, what do you do? Oh, I train. If you have a marathon you're going to prepare for, what do you do? Oh, you train. Oh, so you're telling me that you're willing to sit there and train to get a better body, to maybe train for a job, etc., but you won't train for your man? And then that's when it really hits home. A girl, right? Western women a lot of time, they'll go to college, right? They'll wear a suit and dress, conservatively for a job, right? They'll go to that job, they'll serve the boss, they'll do what they say, etc. Then come home to you and you'll say, can you make me a sandwich? They'll say, do it yourself. And I think that's ludicrous because they will give their best years to a company that doesn't give a fuck about them over a man who will provide, protect, and provision for her.
There.
Right?
That's the fucking greatest point in the world he's making. Okay? You devote your life to this company that does not give a fuck about you. And then when your husband asks you to do something nice for him, you're like, whatever, do it yourself. I'm the princess. I'm the queen. No. That guy is the one who's devoted to you. If that guy's your soulmate, what the hell are you doing giving all your love and devotion and loyalty to the money for that, or to the money that comes from that company you're working for, and not giving a shit about the man who devotes his time and treasure and talent to you? Give me a break. And you do it out of love. Oh, on a little bit of a side note, I've been talking on here recently about how women love opportunistically. I was listening to Rollo saying that the other day. Men idealistically, they love idealistically. And I kept thinking to myself, I thought of this girl I knew in college, and I was like, she did not love me opportunistically. She definitely loved me. And even though we had issues where we weren't compatible going into the future, she definitely loved me. She was dovetailing a little off of what Myron's talking about. She was a career woman, and now she's off being a professor at a very liberal school in New York City. and she never wanted to have kids. And that was like, it's like, so she loved me, definitely loved me idealistically. There was no fucking trace of loving me opportunistically whatsoever, because she always had in the back of her mind that, and she said it, marriage is slavery, which I think is fucking lame and weak. So, but now she's a slave to whatever it is she does. But she determined, she got to invent the slavery around her, okay? But, you know, being committed to a man is slavery, in essence. And being devoted to your work life, especially in the woke world, I don't get it. They devote themselves to being a slave to ideals that are just very narrow. I don't know. But so it's sad on one hand. I mean, like, so this clip made me think a lot of stuff. I was actually thinking that in bed this morning. I'm surprised I remembered it right now.
Children, and that's the day and age that we're in now. So what I would say is, right, because this part of the world is different because the women have a father. They come from a nuclear family. Yeah. They have some semblance of healthy masculinity. Yeah. But in the United States, where we have a fatherless generation, right, you have a bunch of women that don't respect masculinity in general. Hell, most women, and I love to ask this question a lot of times
you
on the
have
podcast.
No idea,
do you think
Myron.
Women respect most men? And the answer is almost always no. Yeah. They don't. And I think that's very scary because men built the world, but most women don't respect those very men. So what I tell guys is, since
like my cousin was just saying the other day, I want to say he was quoting Mark Twain when he said, was it Mark Twain? Standing on the shoulders of people who came before him. I'm paraphrasing something here, like a quote or something. And so these women stand on the shoulders of men who built the world before them, but they're like, fuck those guys. And they pretend like they're victims and slaves. It's all in line with the purpose Marxism has to divide society. We are so fucked up right now. God, it's not even a normal human species anymore, honestly. Damn.
Come with this poisonous mind, especially these Gen Zers, these younger women that grew up on iPads and TikTok and all this other stuff. Like, you have to almost deprogram the fuckery out of them and tell them, this is how the world really works. No, you're not a princess. You're going to follow me. This is how it is. I will treat you like a princess if it's earned, but I'm not going to go ahead and treat you like a princess just because. You have to earn it.
I would like to say just because you're hot, you know, because that's what they bank off of. And that is just like the perishable sexual market value that you have, your looks. If you don't have any character deeper than those extrinsic fucking looks. And then the simps will want that because sex to a young man is love. They don't even think in terms of, so like, I don't know, Rollo, when you say when you say love is idealistic to men, sometimes I think men are so horned up that they're equating that crazy euphoria you get from sex. You're equating it. What was I saying? I lost it. I lost the thread. So there's a idealistic love for sex, but it's also like illusory. You're fucking and thinking you're loving, but you're not. You just have all these hormones and shit surging through you euphorically when you're screwing because it's such an amazing experience that you kind of get blinded between the two and you can't discern between real idealistic love and the euphoria that you're experiencing when you're fucking. That's why so many guys fall in love with hot stripper chicks who are the worst possible thing you could commit your life to, okay? Gee whiz. I think what I just said was insightful, and I'm curious to hear other thoughts on that.
Relationship. Yeah. You know, and you have to make them, you almost have to make them more ladylike and turn them into an asset because most girls come in, right, in the United States especially, they come in and they think, what can I get out of this? What can this guy do for me versus what can I do for this man? They're extractors. And your job as the man is to bring that girl in, right, turn her from an extractor, right, and a liability.
Hold on.
She is an extractor. Women are extractors. They love opportunistically. Extractor.
Yeah.
Into an asset.
I'm too proud.
A lot of guys don't have this skill set, which is why I'm so big on like you have to get yourself to a certain point. Because then you could demand that excellence from the girl back in reciprocation. But yeah, you definitely have to teach girls in the West how to be a good girlfriend for you, because a lot of them come with bad habits. They want to do girls' nights out. They want to dress
You gotta like domesticate them like a dog, basically, right? I'm sorry for the dog. So I love dogs, okay? They're the most loving, sweet creatures in the world. But my point is that, like I've heard Myron say before, you have to punish bad behavior. Like if you have a date with a woman and she flakes out on you, I got this from Myron. He's like, well, okay, if we go out, you're gonna pay for me. And it's like, because you want to punish them for bad behavior and you want to reward them for good behavior. Good tip, Myron. I dig it, man. This is the male role model of the century right here.
They want to act like hoes. They want to twerk in public. They want to have guy friends. They want to be able to do certain behaviors and actions that might put the relationship at risk. And your job as the man is to protect her from herself a lot of the times and not put herself in compromising situations that might hurt the relationship. But a lot of girls think that it's okay to behave in certain ways even when they have a man. And your job as the man is to let her know, no, this is not how it goes. Just like you want to work for that job and there's rules and regulations. Same here. You want a relationship with me.
The bitch is a distract. Oh no, she's an extractor. She extracts resources from the man, and that is not justified. She uses you for your resources. She extracts the resources from man after she is done screwing the alpha men in her 20s. Then she's using you to trick you and defraud you into living a life of you know what it is? You know what it is?
It's indentured servitude. Is it not? She gives you some sex. You have her children. She breaks up to you, pretends like, you're not around for me. You're not around for me. I need someone who's around for me. And then she breaks up with you for cash and prizes. And then she says like, your daddy's never around. He's always at work. He doesn't have time for you, even though you did all the horrible, horrible, evil stuff yourself. Okay. Whatever. I'm just making no sense right now, which means I need to move on to this very last clip that I have, which is of Jedidiah.
Let's go to 29.
Hottie. It's easy to be attracted to women with brains, honestly. So you got physicality and you got brains. You are not just an extractor. You are a producer of love.
44.
Do you think, generally speaking, that most women want to be in a relationship or want to be married?
I think so. I think most humans in general need that human connection and like a partner in life. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you would say people are single for other reasons than by choice. Like most people don't choose to be single.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like there's a lot of factors that just they're not finding their person, and I think that's why.
Oh,
but
that line.
Little bit of this is like showing skin. The cross of Jesus right here. Going back to that sin and pride. Piety, sin, and pride. Okay. That's just what it makes me think.
I can't. You hear these millennials all the time. I need to find my person. That was a millennial thing. I specifically said millennial. I'm looking for my person. What does that mean? You're looking for somebody who's got, see, she's saying, oh, my person,
all
have
that
my person.
Stupid, retarded.
And at first you think
the verbiage these young people talk with, they've just been brainwashed to think that nothing can go outside these boundaries because of some random person's feelings way over there. They don't even hear this, but I have to speak for their benefit. You don't have to validate people who aren't around you.
Just somebody she clicks with. No. She's probably talking about somebody who checks all the boxes. She's got a long list like Santa Scroll. How much they got to make, the car, the house,
the soulmate,
the age, the height, all this. And she hasn't found her person.
And a head full of hair. Jedidiah, you forgot a head full of hair. He must have a head full of hair, right? For now, at least.
That's oftentimes what you'll hear manifest in these conversations with these young modern women. So is that it? And I think this is a social media problem also of this day and age. Because when I was younger, oftentimes you wound up dating and you wound up hanging out with people in your neighborhood. You didn't have this like phone that would connect you to the whole world. So you had like, group of kids at school.
How old is, hold on. We're going to do a search right now and say, how old is Jedidiah Bila? 44 years old. Damn, you look good for 44.
and then you had
some
college,
women,
and everything
some women
felt
are
very
like used up at 44 years old. Oh, at 30 years old. Oh my God. And like you, lady. Oh my God. 44 years old, looking fantastic. You.
Jedidiah looks amazing for 44 years old.
community based. It was like who was in your town.
Yep.
You know, everybody kind of knew each other. It was that kind of vibe. And you had a sense that your options weren't endless. You had a sense that, you know, you started seeing the same faces over and over again. And people had a willingness to settle down because if they met somebody and they liked them and things were working out and they were getting along, there wasn't this sense of like, oh, I really like this person.
But
and they're great. But when I go on my phone, there's all these other guys. So how do I know that those guys
You're
don't have
absolutely
something
right.
that he doesn't?
That's a really great point that the world seemed like limited and scarce in the past, like a limited number of choices, and now you have all this infinite choice, and you probably like suffer from analysis paralysis trying to whittle down to someone. It's too, but guys don't have that same abundance, so it's actually warped it to be that benefit for the woman, but it's going to make it it's going to make it more tedious for even the woman to hook up, I would think, thinking that there's all this variety out there. They're looking for perfection when they're not going to find it.
Missing something. This like FOMO, this constant fear of missing out that's in every girl's head. Like they've got all this attention online. They've got all the social media. They've got all the likes. And they're always thinking that the guy in front of them isn't enough. Like they're missing out. So when they say, oh, I haven't found my person, you mean that you're always thinking somebody else is better in some way.
Absolutely.
And this is a social media problem. This is a technology problem of the modern age that a lot of people didn't have back in the day. And a lot of those people, you know what, they got married and they wound up, they were happy. They didn't have this constant sense of like, oh, I'm missing something, because they were happy. Now it's not enough to be happy. No. It's got to be like, I'm happy, but there's always this, maybe this, or which is why I think in relationships now, women oftentimes have one foot out the door. Unless they shut that stuff down. Or they just...
and that is, I agree with exactly what you're saying. And that actually disheartens me because, and not only for myself, but I think of just everyone in the world who is tricked into this idea, this fantasy of always something better. They can't realistically commit to something in a real world scenario. They're always thinking something better is out there. That's really troublesome and problematic, and that's interesting you bring that up. It's definitely like a novel insight, articulated beautifully by this 44-year-old fox right here.
Stop trying attention seeking constantly on social media. You see these women in relationships. You ever see this? They're in a relationship, and you know they're in a relationship, but there's constant attention seeking on the internet. I mean, constant.
Yes.
Some of them are married.
Oh my God, yes. I will not date a woman who's out there on her Instagram being a total hoe, showing her body, like being a like farmer. And it's partly what she's addicted to because of the dopamine in her heads and how everyone's become addicted to the stupid cell phones. Really tragic, the stage of society and the human experience we live in right now. We've got to move away from it and get back to something that was more organic and traditional.
Constant selfie after selfie after selfie after selfie. I'm not talking about a selfie here and there. I'm talking about constant gazing into the camera, sexy this, sexy that. Just constant. And I'm like, where is her husband? Where is her boyfriend? What is going on here exactly? Because you can make those faces
what's going on is
him.
She will feel like if a man says, oh no, if you want to be with me, you can't do that. She will prefer that validation than being with a man. And she will treat it like, you're holding me down. You're holding me prisoner. Like, I'm not your slave. This is empowering for me. And you get the privilege of having sex with me, but shut up. Honestly.
And have a nice little moment. But why you got to be doing it for the world all the time? Something's wrong there. Something's broken in that relationship. By the way, something's broken in that power dynamic, because that guy should be like, if you keep doing this, I'm out. I'm not doing this with you. I don't need this aggravation. He's not saying that to her, obviously. Maybe she's a strong, independent woman, whatever. ridiculous what's going on. If you want to watch the full episode.
All right, yes. That was extremely good. This woman is full of insight all the time. I dig her very, very much. People, you know what I'm saying?
Do you know what I'm saying? I know what I'm saying. Do you know what I'm saying?
If you like what I'm doing here, please like the video, share the video, tell your friends, interact with me, engage with me, because I'm trying to build a community and a crew. People who think this is neat. I'm eventually going to build this room out here. I'm going to have other people with me somehow at some time. Building value. It's going to hook me up eventually. You know what I'm saying? If you want this shirt, I will post a link in the description to this shirt. It'll help me out if you want to buy one of these. I love it. This is one of my favorite shirt designs that I did myself. AI, you know, and the part around it I did myself. I'm going to let you all you guys go right now. Peace be with you all.